Hey there, Zero. Just finishing setting up here and sending out my links and whatnot. Indeed it is. Gonna be pretty much wrapping up the guide here. Hello. Yes, so pretty much today is just going to be wrapping up the guide and then watching some more subscriber replays and then maybe doing just a little bit of ranked duels just because since we took care of the longest part of the guide yesterday, or not yesterday but Monday, which was explaining the breakdown of the deck, I suppose. Still, though, I didn't expect the deck breakdown itself to take nearly an hour. That's still a surprise to me. But hey, that was the longest part. So pretty much the last thing we have to do today for the guide is record some example duels where we pretty much try to establish a board without the main openers like Spell Power Mastery and Servant and whatnot, you know? Because, you know, Endymion isn't a true one-card combo deck, so we have to showcase how you can potentially attempt to establish a board if you don't open the two-card combo. So that's going to be the main goal. Then after we get that up, I do want to try to showcase how to potentially play through Ash. However, to do that, I would have to either have like some replays to watch where an opponent like Ash is one of your main plays or whatever, or try to go, or possibly go into ranked and try to just do some duels in ranked, and then I'll probably have to commentate over it after the fact. So that'll probably be the only way I can like truly like showcase how to potentially play through Ash and Endymion. But we already know what happens once you go into ranked, especially in diamond rank. The moment you step into ranked, that's when all the bad luck hits. You start breaking like crazy, and you just lose the coin toss all the time. But we do need to showcase Endymion going second anyways. So hopefully ranked will be a good way to showcase that as well. So I guess for now we'll just go ahead and try to do a couple of example duels in solo mode of trying to establish a board with suboptimal hands, and then after we get like maybe a couple of those recorded, I can try going into ranked for a bit, do a bit of duels to see if we can actually get some good replays of playing through Ash and whatnot. Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely check some out. And then, of course, if I do, that'll be like part of like the subscriber replay portion, I guess. Even if it's ones we've already seen, I'll like view them to like show how you can potentially play going second and how to play around hand traps and whatnot. But for now, I'm just going to try to hurry up and get these examples out of the way. But if my starting hand is very bad, like I can't make any plays, then I'll obviously reset. I'm just checking this real quick. Hello, Rosalie. Let me just make sure this is the correct example deck for this. It is. Alright, pretty much the basic deck we got going here. So we're just going to go first and see what our first hand looks like. And if it's something where we can attempt to make a board, I'll go with it. But if it has the two card combo, I'm going to reset. All right. I can work with this because it's not going to be the standard combo. Just going to give me a moment here to take a sip of my drink here to clear my throat, and then I'll pretty much not waste any time and get right into the next recording for the example. All right. And here we will be showcasing an attempt to build your board when you don't have any of your ideal combo starters, such as Servant and Spell Power Mastery. And that's what makes Endymion so versatile, is that it does not have any one linear combo to make. So if you don't open your 2-card combo, you still have a chance to build your board. So for this, as you can see, for this instance, we didn't open Servant or Spell Power Mastery, but we do have Reflection, which is still a combo starter. So first things first, we're going to scale Reflection. And then I always like to activate Into the Void first, because there will be instances where your opponent will Ash an Into the Void or an Upstart Goblin for some reason. And if they Ash an Into the Void, at least you don't lose your hand during the end phase, unless of course you draw into another one. But first, we're just simply going to scale. I'm going to activate spells to get 3. Draw into Magister, just keep activating your spells until you can make your plays. Now we have 3, so we can activate Reflection's ability. And again, usually I like to have Jackal King to play through Gamma and Nibiru and whatnot, and of course Ash if for some reason your opponent didn't Ash one of your main plays. But in this instance, in the higher ranks such as Diamond and Master rank, your opponent usually isn't going to Ash an Upstarter Into the Void. So usually if you have Reflection, you're safe because she special summons from the hand. So we have a Jackal King in hand, so we're going to special summon Jackal King. Unfortunately, we have another low scale in hand, as well as an Endymion, so essentially from here, we can pretty much go full combo. Just note that since we special summoned Reflection, she can no longer be special summoned for the rest of the turn. So what I can do here, you can just scale the other Reflection here, simply to hold spell counters. That's all this Reflection will be doing. And then use this Magister as your normal summon. That way you can make Electromite while keeping your Jackal King on the field. And as usual, you're going to put in your Astrograph, because using Astrograph to pop Endymion is how you set up your Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon plays. Alright, and then we drew into another Jackal King, which is good because it'll be another monster negate. Then of course you go into Selene here. Now you do your Pendulum Summon. And you can actually summon Magister here, since we normal summoned it, but we didn't special summon it. So Magister is actually still summonable here, as well as this Jackal King from the hand. Now that you have your 2 level 7s, you simply make your Odd Eyes Vortex, Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon here. Now then, usually from this point, you have one of 2 ways to get your Absolute Dragon into the grave. Usually, you can use Endymion you can use Endymion's Pendulum effect to special summon itself and pop your Absolute to special summon Vortex. Or, if you really wanted to, you could use Magister and Absolute Dragon as link material to make IP Masquerena, and that gets your Absolute into the grave to summon Vortex, as well as having an additional disruption during your opponent's turn. However, that comes down to personal preference, because if you decide to use or keep Magister on the field, his effect is still active during your opponent's turn as future disruption to special summon either another Jackal King or Endymion from the deck. However, once we summon Endymion here, our field is going to be a bit full, so it's not going to really be too it's not going to really matter much to keep Magister onto the field unless you use them as link material for IP. So that's actually what I'm going to go here for here. And then I'm simply going to pop the chicken game with Endymion. Because, yeah, if you decide to keep Magister here with this field, you will not have the room to use Magister's effect unless they destroy one of your other cards, such as your Jackal King. And of course, summon your Vortex in defense, because it has higher defense than it does attack. Remove your 6 spell counters off the field to summon your Endymion. And simply pop something you don't need, like your chicken game, so you don't give your opponent additional draws. And with this, you have 2 monster negates, a spell trap or monster negate. The spell trap negate, Selene can become a second or third spell trap negate by Endymion bouncing either himself or a Jackal King that's already activated its effect. And then we have an Endymion in the grave. So if we want to keep the Endymion we bounce in the hand, we can simply use Selene to special summon the Endymion we have in the grave. However, just be careful about that, because since you have an Endymion in the grave, your opponent can chain Call by the Grave to potentially stop your Endymion. But, of course, we have Vortex as an additional spell trap or monster negate for that. And this is how one of the ways you can establish a board without opening the main 2-card combo, which is Servant and Spell Power Mastery. We didn't even draw them for the entirety of the duel, and it just goes to show that you could still set up a pretty strong end board without having to rely solely on the 2-card combo. Alright, there's that one recorded. I should have probably checked this beforehand. Let me check my capture options. Okay, yes, okay, my mic's audio is still included. But yeah, so that's one example. Welcome to anyone who tuned in while I was recording this. Essentially, I'm just finishing up the guide for Endymion that everyone's been waiting on. We took care of the longest part, which was explaining the deck breakdown on Monday's stream. And now, essentially, I'm just doing examples of how to establish your turn 1 board if you don't open the ideal combo starter, which is Servant and Spell Power Mastery and whatnot. While you're recording, the power went out? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean the power went out? You mean like on my stream or something? Like my stream is still live. Like, did my stream lag for a bit or second or something? Or are you talking about yourself? Oh, okay, for you. Yeah, you scared me for a minute there. Alright, we're gonna see if we can try to get another combo here. Okay. I want to see if I can make this work. We got so we have one of the 2 cards. We have Servant and we have Reflection, and we have 3 spells to activate Servant's effect. And depending on just what we draw, we may be able to, since we don't have like a high scale, we can just see what we draw into here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start another recording to see if this one is, to see if we can actually still establish a good board when we don't have a high and low scale. Look up the draw. Hey, that's what you gotta, if you're making a guy for Endymion, that's something you gotta point out. You're not gonna always open your ideal combo starters. So I'm just pretty much recording to see pretty much just how you can wing it with Endymion and still get to like a somewhat decent end board without opening your ideal combo starters. So just give me a second, I'm about to start the next recording. Again, I just hope like last time my stream doesn't unexpectedly end, because that's going to be very annoying. And here we're going to be showcasing another example of not opening the 2-card combo. Now, we have Servant, which is one of the 2 cards, but we don't have Spell Power Mastery or anything like that. But, as you can see, we do have 3 activatable spells to get the spell counters on Servant so she can activate her effect. So essentially, we're just going to start off by scaling her. And as usual, I always like to activate Into the Void first, just in case your opponent, for some reason, actually does decide to Asher Into the Void. Most of the time in the high ranks, they're not, but I always like to activate it first because you need 3 cards in your hand to even activate it. So I like to be safe. Called by the Grave, this is essentially going to be dead going first. And if your opponent didn't Ash, you now have your counter for Ash or Maxi. Alright, drew into another Servant. Not going to be doing too much here. Alright, activate your chicken game to draw. And you have Institution now, so now we activate Servant. And as usual, depending on what you're more fearful of, you will either go for Jackal King or Endymion. Again, I always like to think that the safer option is Jackal King, because Jackal King can help you play around Nibiru and Gamma. Whereas if you summon Endymion, the only thing you're going to be using him for is to negate a Imperm. So you have more negate options with Jackal King, aside from other than Endymion does. And since we didn't use our normal summon yet, and we have Institution, we can simply scale Reflection here and activate Institution. Now, using Reflection's Pendulum effect is not really that important. What you could do here is you could remove 7 spell counters to go ahead and grab an Endymion to scale. But, or if you wanted to, you could just go straight into Electromite by using a normal summon of a low scale. And if you don't have a low scale, instead of searching Endymion, you could search Baby Jackal to get your additional normal summon to keep your Jackal on the field. And then if you really need your high scale later, you can simply go into Beyond the Pendulum. But in this instance, I am actually going to remove the 7 spell counters to grab Endymion here. And if you're worried about Jackal King no longer having the spell counters to negate, it immediately gets refunded, because once you scale Endymion, Jackal King immediately gets 2 more spell counters. So you still have your monster negate. Now I'm just going to normal summon this Servant, and then proceed from there. While Endymion is a non-linear deck, usually your goal is to end up making Electromite, because Electromite is your way to set up your extra deck and go into Selene with ease. And of course, using Astrograph to put Endymion in there, that's how you get your additional negate with Vortex with the 2 level 7s with Astrograph and Endymion. Alright, and then once again we draw into another Jackal King, which is good because it's another monster negate. And now we simply go into Selene here. And the only thing we can summon is Endymion because Servant cannot be special summoned for the rest of this turn. But we at least still have a Jackal King. And just like all the other examples, Astrograph and Endymion make your absolute. Endymion pops your absolute to make your vortex. And since we have an Endymion in the grave now, we can also use Selene to remove 3 spell counters from the field to immediately summon back that Endymion, just in case your opponent has Call by the Grave in their hand, so they can't chain it if you try to use your Endymion negate. And just like that, we have another board established, and if you still have Call by the Grave in the hand because your opponent didn't have Ash or Maxi, you can simply set that and end your turn. And of course, again, we're ending on 5 negates with a secret 6th one due to Selene's effect to resummon an Endymion or Jackal King that you bounce to your hand. And that's another example of establishing a good turn 1 board without opening the ideal 2-card combo. Okay, that one is done. I'm gonna try to go for one more. And with this last one, I want to try to see if we can get a combo going. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't even think we need to do, because we showcased the 2 main ones, and then we showcased 2 when we showcased 2 where we didn't open the ideal hands. The only other thing I could think of is if we open something like all spells. But then pretty much you just gotta pray for the fact that you get a... pretty much you gotta pray that you open a monster to scale to put spell counters on, and that's usually very risky. Do I want to do the Promethean Princess line? Let me think about that for a second. Because doing the Promethean Princess line would be nice for those, like, you know, additional draws and whatnot. But that's like a more new combo. I guess I can give it a try. I'll give it a try, but obviously I'm not like super... I can't even find the right words to describe it, but I can give it a try. Since I'm not like super familiar with the Promethean Princess line. Because for me, like, I don't know, because like I said, I've seen like subscriber replays that y'all have submitted where y'all make these insane, crazy plays after like Electric Might. You go into Promethean Princess, then use like freaking Hita or freaking use Hita or use was it Sprite Elf, I think. But I'll see what I can do. This is another technically 2-card combo hand. So let's see, what can I do here? I have the Master Cerberus and Institution, which is good for searching Servant. Okay. I'm trying to think of what I can do here and how I can... If I'm just sitting here for a minute, I'm just trying to think on how I could do this to incorporate Promethean Princess into this. Because, you know, I already can see like the standard line here. scale activate institution, Master Cerberus, Jackal King, to special summon the Master Cerberus, remove the 3 spell counters to grab Servant, activate Chicken Game and Upstart to get your draws. For the Princess line, I could. Yeah, I think that'll be the best thing to do here. Okay, so I'll check that one out. Yeah, I'll watch that one. And after I do this last example replay here. Because technically, yeah, trust me, I know how good he is with it. I've seen one of his replays. It's on my list as a subscriber replay. So I'll use this one since we don't have Servant or Spell Power Mastery. But we do have technically another combo starter. So yeah, I'm gonna use this one as like the last example, and then I'll go from there, and then I'll watch Mountain Black's replay and see if I can commentate over that. So yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna start this, and this will be the final recording for non-ideal openers. And here we'll be showcasing trying to establish a board when we don't have another ideal opener, which is no Servant and no Spell Power Mastery. But we do have Master Cerberus and Institution. Now, this is only 2 of the 3 cards for the quote-unquote full power board, but you are perfectly capable of establishing a strong enough board with just these 2, as long as you have activatable spells. So similar to the full power board, you're going to start with Institution and scale your Master Cerberus. Since we don't have Jackal King is going to be your search here, because Jackal King special summons your Master Cerberus. And now we have the 4 spell counters we need to search our Servant. And then from here, you're just going to be activating your spells to get 3 under Servant to summon your Servant from the scale, as well as your Jackal King from the deck. Now I drew into Reflection. Now what I could do here is a scale Reflection so that she automatically starts gaining spell counters. However, if your opponent hasn't asked you yet and they ask your Servant effect, you're essentially locking your scales. So it is better to go the safer option just by activating this Chicken Game first and then scaling Reflection later. But of course, we're establishing a turn 1 board if your opponent doesn't have any interruptions. So we're just going to play it out as normal. As usual, get your Jackal King out. And now you can start scaling. Now you can either scale Reflection or Magister here. Usually in this instance, you would want to scale Reflection because with this hand, you're most likely going to want to go into Beyond the Pendulum if we don't end up drawing into our high scale with Electromite's draw effect. So you're most likely going to end up going into Beyond the Pendulum to grab your Endymion, because you do want at least 1 spell trap negate on your board. So first one, we're going to go for Reflection, and then we're going to special summon Electromite as usual. Put an Astrograph because he's essentially a free special summon, as well as replenishing your hand. You can just scale this Magister, since we're not really going to be using its Pendulum effect for now. You can safely scale this Magister, add it back to your hand with Astrograph's effect, and then you can potentially pendulum summon it once you make Celine. Now, in this case, you can add either Magister or another Jackal King, and you'll still get an additional draw, depending on what you feel like doing. If you feel like adding Magister to get an additional summon during your opponent's turn, you can go for that. Or if you would rather have another Jackal King for an additional monster negate, you can go for that. But in this case, we're going to show off using Beyond the Pendulum to simply fetch a missing scale that you need. So in this case, we're going to grab Jackal King just so we can use Beyond the Pendulum to fetch our missing scale. Now with Beyond the Pendulum, obviously you have to Pendulum Summon right away if you want to continue using your effects. But in this case, it's fine because you have plenty of cards to special summon. You still have Astrograph in your extra deck to summon, as well as a Jackal King. And then we didn't use Reflection's Pendulum effect, so we could still Pendulum Summon her from the hand if we want to make our Absolute, as well as another Jackal King for a monster negate. However, since your scales are negated until you Pendulum Summon, your scales will not be getting any spell counters, so just do be mindful of that. We can only summon two. The safest option here is Astrograph and Jackal King. And then you can summon your other Jackal King as well as Reflection here. Obviously your hand is going to vary based on what you drew, but this is just an example of with what I ended up drawing into. And if you want to, you could use Beyond to pop two cards on the field. You're not going to want to because Endymion's going to pop your chicken game later anyways. So you're not going to use that for now. And then in this case, you can use Reflection and Astrograph to make your Absolute Dragon instead of Astrograph and an Endymion. And now you can simply use Absolute and Beyond the Pendulum to make your Celine. Normally you would like to use her to summon another Endymion from the graveyard if you have one, but the only card we can summon here is Astrograph since we already special summoned Reflection this turn. So we're going to pass on Celine's effect for now. And then, once again, just simply activate Endymion's Pendulum effect. Popping at least one card on the field, usually a chicken game, so you don't give your opponent those additional draws. And then, of course, before you end your turn, always check to see if you activated Into the Void. If you didn't activate Into the Void, then you can safely hold on to any cards that are left over in your hand. But there will be a large amount of duels where you do activate it, so just always be sure to check to make sure if you activate it Into the Void, so you can set your Triple Tactics talent if you have it, or any spare copies of Spell Power Mastery that you drew into. But that is a third example of how you can establish a board when you don't open your ideal 2-card combo. And this one is a little bit different because usually you would have 2 Endymions, 1 to 2 Jackal Kings, and a Vortex, but here we just have 3 Jackal Kings and 1 Endymion. But this 1 Endymion can still be 2 Spell Trap negates when you bounce it for the first negate and then resummon it with Celine, and then you can bounce any of your other cards that have spell counters like your Institution. And then of course you have Vortex, which could also be another Spell Trap negate. So that's it for showing off combos that you could potentially pull off when you don't open your ideal combo starter. But obviously, all your combos are going to vary based on what you draw into. And unfortunately, there will be some instances where no matter what you draw, you won't be able to make a decent board like this. And you'll probably end on something a lot weaker, like maybe one Jackal King and like maybe one Endymion. So again, it all comes down to the luck of the draw with Endymion, but that's honestly, in my opinion, what makes Endymion so fun, because you don't know exactly what you're going to draw into, and that can end up making or breaking your duels. But you can't win them all. Just don't let your bad draws discourage you from playing the deck. Just keep at it, keep persevering, and you'll be able to establish some pretty powerful boards in time. Alright, that's the last example duel there. So we can wrap that one up. And now I'm going to see about maybe trying to explain the Promethean Princess variant. Let's see. Watch out now, people are playing. I'm just checking, reading comments now that the recording's... So, stun isn't as big of an issue, you know? In Master Cerberus, instead of searching Jackal King, you can search Garuda, pop one of their floodgates, and then simply just get enough spell counters onto the field. Pretty much just hope you get Endymion in hand. If you can get Endymion into your hand and get enough spell counters to activate Endymion, then you can essentially get rid of their floodgates fairly easy. Unless they have something like, you know, Fossil Dyna or something like that, because then you can't even special summon Endymion. But usually the answer is to pretty much attack over it. If they have something like Moon Mirror Shield, that's when Garuda comes in really handy to pop like a Moon Mirror Shield or freaking Power of the Guardians that they have equipped to their Fossil Dyna or whatever card special summoning. Yeah. For now, though, I'm going to check out Mont Blanc's replay, see if I can remember which one it was. I'm gonna watch it real quick, and then see if I can actually show off, or try at least attempt to explain. How to use the Promethean Princess line. Rosalie Hamill, you're the Rosalie. You are, if I'm not mistaken, your name is Endymion. What was it? Endymion 83, right? That's you, Rosalie, or are you someone else? I'm trying to remember who was who. Okay, good. At least I'm starting to remember. By the way, Rosalie, your first replay will be going up tomorrow. Just so you know, yours is the next subscriber replay, and that one will be posted tomorrow. Welcome here. Welcome, Aka. Let's see. Let me check to see which one it is. Which one from Mont Blanc it is. His March 20th is the one, I think. Versus this person. I'm just going to be watching it so I can at least attempt to explain how this goes. Although, I do want to hold off putting this duel in the guide until I get this subscriber replay uploaded, because this is a subscriber replay as well. So if I can explain this one, I'm going to hold off putting it into the guide until after I actually get this replay uploaded onto my channel. So I'm going to watch it first, just to see how this works. Starting off with Almirash to get it into the extra deck. Jackal King to special summon it. Summoning Jackal King here. Drawing into that upstart. Servant. Making electromite, I'm guessing. Yep. And then I'm guessing he uses. Remember, he uses Almirage and electromite to make it, right? To make Promethean. Yes, he does. Now he goes into Amblowell here to Okay, never mind. Just immediately summoning Jackal. Immediately summoning Endymion here. Okay. Yeah, this is a crazy combo here. I'm not even sure I can, I'm not even sure this is actually worth putting in the guide because mine is standard Endymion. This dude is doing advanced plays. Yeah, this guy's he's making advanced plays here. Only punch him summon one. Making Sprite Elf. Yeah, I'll check those out. I think we can, since we're already here, watching more replays here from subscribers. Like, this is just crazy. I wish I had the fast thinking to make a board like this. Like, I really wish I had I don't have the fast thinking to make these kind of plays right now. Which is why I will always refuse when people say that I'm the best Endymion player. I am absolutely not. I could not think of I could not think of plays like this on the fly. Yeah, literally, I would have timed out before I even got to like the end of my turn trying to think of this kind of combo or whatever. But yeah. As much as I would like to put that Promethean Princess combo into the video, I think I'll refrain from doing it simply because I am showing off the standard Endymion guide here, and Promethean Princess only recently started going into Promethean Princess only recently started making its way into Endymion decks. So as much as I would love to put that replay in there, I'll hold off on that. Yeah, there's multiple alternate combos for Endymion, and I just want to, again, my guide is mostly for people who want to get into Endymion. So my guide is going to be showing pretty much basic / standard combos you can make. And I don't want to, overwhelm, So I'm going to hold off on that. They're going to, not to mention, that's like another UR that you got to craft and all, because Endymion is already pretty expensive. Endymion's expensive as it is, considering how many ultra rares are in the extra deck and main deck. Considering the fact that, for some reason, they decided to make Upstart Goblin and Chicken Game. They, for some reason, decided to make those ultra rares. I will never understand why Chicken Game and Upstart are ultra rares. You want a guide on the Promethean Princess, though? I mean, I understand that. But pretty much, yeah, I know. I know not much people are doing it, but my guide is more so for newcomers. And what I want to say is, the long and short of the basic, like very, very basic use for Promethean Princess is to get an additional use out of your Electromite. Yeah, Promethean Princess gets an additional use out of your Electromite, and then going into Amblowell gives you an additional disruption during your opponent's turn by popping Ambler Whale to summon Promethean, but popping Ambler Whale and another of your opponent's cards during your opponent's turn, whenever they special summon. So yeah, essentially, again, that's just the very basic version. Just an additional use of Electromite, as well as an additional disruption, a non-negate disruption during your opponent's turn. And that's pretty much just the long and short of it. Maybe at some point in the future, I'll do like another guide with it, but for now, I'm going to exclude it because I want this to be pretty much the standard Endymion guide for newcomers to get a basic understanding of the deck before I dive into advanced combos. But for now, before I hop back into ranked, I will watch a few more subscriber replays if anyone has any. I know Dio said he had 2 new ones to watch, so we could watch those real quick before we hop into ranked and try to get some going, because I need to get some going second replays in ranked so I can commentate over those, potentially how to play through Ash and whatnot. So we'll watch these replays, and if no one else has any replays they want to show at the moment, I'm gonna hop into ranked for a bit. As much as I would like to solely go second, choosing to go second in the current meta is not a good idea. So I'm still like, if I win the coin toss, I'm obviously gonna choose to go first, and just try to make my boards here. And you have a few new ones as well, Bomber. We'll check those out after this. Okay, yeah, it's Sky Striker and Endymion going second against Branded. Okay. Opening Lost in Branded Fusion. I'm fine with watching them now, just so I don't end up forgetting later. And that's like even if we get any good enough replays to do so. Like, that all hinges on the fact on if we get any good ranked replays worth saving that aren't just building your standard turn 1 board. But before I make the guide, I definitely need to showcase some way of playing around Ash and whatnot. Okay. Ah, summoning Abductor, okay. Well, he does have Jackal King in hand, so I guess I can see why he goes for Abductor there. Chaining Call by the Grave to banish, what was it, Ecclesia? It was. And then there's Quem. Reborning, yeah, misplay. What, did you want to target Cartesia instead? Was that the one you wanted to target instead of Ecclesia? To prevent them from fusion summoning? Didn't read, yeah. It's fine, everyone's guilty of it at some point. But yeah, I'm guessing that was a misplay, using Call by the Grave on Ecclesia instead of Cartesia. Praskinian? Yeah. That'll be like, obviously the goal. Like, if I can definitely get some replays playing through negates, I'll definitely include those. I always find it funny when they preemptively try to banish Electrum or try to get rid of Electromite when that's not even the play you're going for at the moment. To different levels so you can pop 2 on the field. But you can go into Promethean Princess here if you wanted to. Is that the play? Nope, just going straight to Celine. That's actually a really good thing about going up against Branded. Like, Branded uses a lot of spells too, so if you manage to get Celine out, she's by default gonna have a lot of counters. Do you have over 10,000 damage? You do, 11,000, okay. And that's the scoop. Very nice. Like, again, aside from like what you said was your minor misplay, that was still a really great replay. Especially against Branded, though. Branded is so ridiculous now with all the support that they got. I remember back when Branded first got their wave of support, the only thing you had to worry about was Mirror Jade with Branded in red. Tunes Max C, okay. At least you got your Triple Tactics talent live. But yeah, I remember back when the only thing you had to worry about with Branded was Mirror Jade and a Branded in red. That's all you had to worry about. Honestly, if my opponent would have maxed Seed, I probably would have personally gone for the draw 2. Since they're gonna... Oh, never mind, you decided to pass there. Okay. But then again, it is Tunes, so if you don't have a monster for them to take control of, it is safe to pass. And a lot of Toon monsters can't even attack the turn they're summoned anyway, if I'm not mistaken. And then he's just fueling up your server with spell counters. Toon Black Luster, Toon Dark Magician, and Toon Red Eyes. Yep, they can't attack the turn they're summoned, except for... Yeah, none of them can attack the turn they're summoned. Letting it banish, okay. Was it untargetable or something? I'm surprised you didn't negate it. Unless it's a quick effect, right? Ah, that's why. Opponent cannot target Toon, that's why. You couldn't target them due to the field spell. Huh? Negating your own... Did you do that just for the spell counter? I'm guessing that was an accident? Yeah, okay. At least you can get around their, you can get a... If you had, like, one more spell counter, you could have gotten around their, targeting protection. But I think they also have, like... he tried to freaking, burn you, but the chicken game saved you there. Yeah, still kind of same play then. Getting rid of your Jackal King, but yeah. I mean, if you did try to pop with Endymion, he could just, He could just keep resight. He could just keep using the field spell to protect it. So yeah, you would have to pop the field spell first. Dang, getting double called by the grave there though. From Celine, okay. Yeah, you gotta pop the field spell, but then it's gonna protect all of them once, I think. Yep. And then access code to pop it again. You have what, 3 pops? Yeah, because you have fire, dark, and light. Yep, and there's a scoop. Just a couple of misplays just due to not reading effects, which happens to everyone at some point. Still, very nice replay. Play the Elden Ring DLC? No, I haven't even played Elden Ring. Let's see, who was next? Bomber said they had a couple they wanted to show off. There you are. Let's see. Okay, got 3 new ones. We'll watch 2 for now. We'll watch the 2 March 26th ones. And then we'll hop into ranked for a bit. Alright, going second with Sword Soul. Against Snake Eyes, negating Ash. Yeah, I haven't played it. Nothing against the game, it's just... me personally, never really... most of these, you can say it's just a skill issue. I've never been good at Souls-like games. Like, the only Souls-like game you could say I've played is Code Vein. And even then, I'm not that good at it. Bro thought he had you beat with the Nibiru. Don't you know that Sword Soul also plays Nibiru? The Crossout Detonator definitely came in the clutch there. What were you playing against? Oh wait, Snake Eyes, duh. I totally forgot that he normal summoned Ash, and you negated it, and that caused him to pass turn. Alright, going second, but you open Max C. Against... Ooh, Raid Raptors. A fun one, huh? I know they have towers with Ultimate Falcon, I think. If I'm not mistaken, Ultimate Falcon is a towers monster. But he's playing through Max C, so this is gonna end up biting him hard. Yeah. How do I check? Yep, yeah, 10 cards in hand. Like, unless he was, like, actively trying to deck you out, Raid Raptors playing through Maxi is hard. The only thing they can end up really making... Ah, okay, he has a negate. So he at least has a monster negate. or an Omni negate, but you have imperm to negate it if you draw into impermanence. I'd say you probably should have used it on Infinity. Because Infinity is the negate, which could negate your Nibiru. So what you could have done is you could have ashed that. He negates with Infinity, you chain negate Imperm to negate him. And then not to mention if you drew into Nibiru, your Nibiru would be live. Well, if you still draw into it, it's still live anyway. Currently at 12 cards in hand. Is this the Towers? Arsenal Falcon, okay. Hey, see what you keep drawing into. Okay, it doesn't even show, it just keeps randomly shuffling the hand. No Nibiru yet. Still though, all those cards drawn and you haven't drawn into Nibiru yet, it's surprising. Magnamut. Like, is he like actively trying to deck you out? Yep, there's the Towers. Blackout. How many cards are you at? 17. Just technically 18, 19. Oh, going right into Baron, okay. Yeah. I don't know how to... I think the only way for it to show your opponent's hand... I think the only way for it to show your opponent's hand is if you're in a duel room. I don't think it can show the opponent's hand otherwise. Since this is in ranked, it doesn't show your opponent's hand. Did you normal summon yet? You didn't. You still have normal summon Mo Yi. He had another one. That's why I didn't negate it. Another Ultimate Falcon. Grandmaster. Got the Altered Ash, I see. Dang. Discarded so many cards. If you had Chang Ying... If you had Chang Ying, that Chang Ying would be super protected. Yeah, they're unaffected, so... Down to 1,500 life with 2 towers on the field. Yep, there's the Chang Ying. That's how you get over them. Alright, there's the Long Yun. And he gave up from that. Okay. That was very nice as well, though. Drawing nearly 19 cards and then watching them all go to the graveyard during your end phases is funny. Alright. Well, let's see. Did anyone else play any that I missed? I don't think so. So for now, we're gonna hop into ranked for a bit. Do some duels, see if we can get anything worth putting in the guide. I always like to turn the music back up a little bit whenever I go into ranked. But yeah, we're hopping back into ranked for a bit. Let me make sure my Endymion. We're gonna switch since we're pretty much doing a guide for pure Endymion. We're gonna stick with pure Endymion. Yeah. No, I'll do that. Again, I'm not trying to get any higher in rank for the rest of the month. I'm perfectly fine staying in Diamond until the season resets. Trying to get into Master Rank is a headache and a half. Welcome to the stream. Okay, this is actually a pretty good combo hand here. Too bad we're going second with this hand. This hand would have been great going first. Let's see what we're playing against. Branded. Okay. As long as he doesn't try to lock me out with anything like, as long as he tries to use Sanctifier to lock me out of summoning anything, I'm definitely going to try to play through this. Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah, you always get better hands going second, where your opponent can just negate all of it. Yeah, they never lost it. They have freaking Sanctifier Dragon. They could just, if they do, they could just summon Sanctifier Dragon, summon Ido. If they manage to put Ido or Gimmick Puppet in the grave, they can just summon the Gimmick Puppet or Ido or Ra's Disciple to your field before you even get a chance to respond. Like you can't even imperm it because Sanctifier is untargetable. So your only way to deal with it is to have Called by the Grave. No. Branded, you're talking about, what was it? Branded, you're talking about the trap. They banished the trap. They banned the trap. But, Sanctifier Dragon essentially does the same thing. I only have one activatable spell card here. So if this gets ashed, I am in a very bad position. Okay, didn't get ashed. Think I can add Endymion here. I have two Jackal Kings in hand. What does this do? So Quem is whenever I summon, when a monster leaves the extra deck. If a monster is special summon by activated monster effect, so using Servant won't trigger it. And he has nothing in graveyard. I gotta worry about those set cards. Yeah, I'm worried about those set cards more than anything. I'm gonna scale Reflection. Because you can use this to summon Fallen of Albaz. I am very worried about an Imperm here. But I'm concerned. I don't know what I should go for. Those set cards are my biggest concerns right now. I would like to summon a Jackal King, but at the same time, I can summon Endymion. Yeah, Super Poly is an issue too. I could probably summon Endymion, scale my other one, and then just Pendulum summon my two Jackal Kings, right? I think I'm gonna go for the safer play here. Summon an Endymion. I just hope it doesn't end up being a mistake. Actually, no, I probably should have gone for Jackal King to gather spell counters. Yep, his field's activatable now. I'm probably gonna Pendulum Summon early. Yeah, don't care about that. Druid Swarm, whatever. I'm not gonna negate that. But yeah, I think I may have to Pendulum Summon early here. He still has something activatable. Which is absolutely my biggest concern. I'm gonna hold on to these. I'm gonna hold on to Astrograph for now. Because I may have to use one of my Jackal Kings to make Electromite. But so far, right now, my biggest concern is Beast and Super Poly. Branded Beast and Super Poly are the cards I gotta worry about for now. So I'm gonna make the risky play. I'm gonna sack one of my Jackal Kings to make Electromite. And this triggers Quem. Yep. Probably gonna summon Fawn of Albaz to try to fuse with my field. I'll wait until the Fawn of Albaz hits the field before I use Jackal King. Because he's definitely gonna want to make a Mirror Jade here by fusing with my Electromite. Oh, he already has Imperm. Great. So I'm pretty much might as well just go ahead and use this now before it goes away. So if I would have used Jackal King to negate, he'd have still Imperm negated. Well, no, I still have the 2 spell counters. I do have the 2 spell counters, so I can still negate Fawn of Albaz. I'm still good there. I can put anything I want into my extra deck. So I'm gonna put a Master Cerberus. And if it's Super Poly, it's now dead because it doesn't have a card to discard. Again, I already used my Pendulum Summon. And he's out of there. I can save that one. Not sure if it's worth using in the guide, but that's definitely a nice duel to save. Definitely a nice duel to save. I guess I'm glad I didn't change Jackal King to Quem. And I'm glad he decided to shotgun Imperm there. Him shotgunning Imperm there allowed me to safely use Endymion and Jackal King to stop his fusion summon. Okay, got double called by. See, honestly, this hand would be great if I was playing against Math Mech. If like I was playing against Math Mech, I could just double call. I could call it by their Deceive Worm and then call it by their freaking what's his name, Diameter. This is pretty much the only way Endymion can play. And of course it's Cash Tira. I hate Cash so much. You spent $195 on IRL cards. I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! IRL a while back. Like the last time I played is when Endymion was when Endymion was around going when it first came out, you know? But then once they limited Servant to 1, They limited servant to 1, and then that was around the time I moved, so I didn't really have a card shop in my local area, so I couldn't travel, or I couldn't go anywhere local to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And that kind of just pretty much made me fall off from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! IRL in general. Yeah, TCG is too expensive. That's why I like Master Duel. It's a free-to-play option. You can pretty much build any deck you want if you have the patience too. But of course, he's going for the banish effect now. Is he going for a 3 material Arise Heart? Or he's just gonna make Shang-Ri? Is he still gonna make Shang-Ri? Or is he gonna just go make a 3 material Arise Heart? He's going for Shang-Ri still. Or something. So he's going for Shang-Ri and a 1 material Arise Heart. And then I'm guessing he's gonna summon huh? Okay, set 2. This hand isn't nearly this is not nearly as bad. I can work with this hand because I'm not getting Macrocosmos or anything like that. If he has the trap, I'm not worried about the trap because I don't activate any traps, so the trap isn't a concern for me. He's probably gonna summon Fenrir from the deck. Yep, the trap I don't care about. To special summon back his Fenrir. So what is he summoning from the deck? Tear Cash? Or Scare Cash? Scare Cash from the deck with Shang-Ri. Since I'm not going to be activating any monster effects, I'm not going to be activating any monster effects for a bit here, so I should be fine. But his field is still lighting up. Alright, let's activate this first. If he has Max C and Ash, I have call by for both of those. You know, as long as my connection remains stable. Alright, no Ash. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab Endymion here. Probably just full field wipe him here. Wipe him as much as I can. As long as he doesn't have Imperm, I should be fine. Do not use... I'm not gonna use that effect. Just remove all 3 off of Servant. Because Jackal King is going to be my way to wipe his field. Or if I really wanted to, I could summon Master Cerberus to banish his Shang-Ri. But I think Jackal King is the safer option. I can use this to grab a baby Jackal to put more spell counters onto my field for Endymion. Yeah. Just remove 1, grab a baby Jackal. And I'm definitely going to save these Called by the Graves for when he tries to resummon his Castura monsters later. And we're just going to put a spell counter back on the institution anyways. How many pops we got here with Endymion? 5? We got 5 pops with Endymion? Yeah. So obviously I'm going to take out all of his Castura monsters. So that'll be 3. I'm probably just going to take out these 5 here. The Castura monsters, Preparations, and the Pressured Planet. I don't think I'm going to be able to really do much else here due to not having any other additional draw cards. Yeah, you might be right. Because I can negate this. Target one card in the field to destroy. The only thing he has to destroy is my Jackal King. And if he destroys Jackal King, that puts 2 more spell counters on Institution. Institution's protected by a spell counter. This is protected by the spell counter. And this will go back into my extra deck. Not the trap. I suppose. And then I guess I can start getting rid of his materials off of Shangri, right? Should I leave the Shangri up, or should I just... Because here's what I can do. I can get rid of one material with Shangri. He tries to special summon from the deck. I can negate that as well. Do I just get rid of material from Shangri, or do I just pop the field spell? That's the question here. I don't know which one I should go for. Because eventually I'm going to have to get rid of it, but I guess the field spell. I don't think Shangri negates. It just has protection, right? Yeah, it just has protection. It can't attack me. I'm just gonna end on this. Yeah, I'm just gonna end on this. I don't have a way to deal with Shangri right now until I get some more spell counters to get Master Cerberus, which I should be able to do with these 2 Called by the Graves. I don't know if it's even worth it to negate that. He can probably go for yeah, he's going for Unicorn, so I can call by one of his Unicorns. I'm gonna call by his... no, I'm just gonna negate Unicorn with Jackal King. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna negate Unicorn with Jackal King if he tries to go for it. Okay, never mind. I gotta do so now. Because I need these Called by the Graves to stop his Fenrir from activating. I'm not gonna negate with Endymion. I could. But I'd much rather save that for Birth. So I'm probably just gonna have to shotgun these now. And then I'm gonna get rid of that Fenrir as well. It turns off his I'm getting the spell counters, and it turns off his Fenrir from searching. He can summon them back, but that's fine. I still have a monster negate, and I still have a spell trap negate. He's probably gonna go for Tier Cash or Scare Cash or whatever. And I really want Endymion's follow-up search here. So I will negate that and bounce the institution I have. Only thing I'm going to be pissed on here is if he has triple tactics at hand as well. He can get rid of Jackal King, but all of Jackal King's spell counters will go on to Citadel, so I'm not worried about that. Alright, so he is going straight to battle. Yep, all those spell counters are going right onto my Citadel. Alright, I'm good here. Nothing he special summons from his deck should be a concern to me, because Fenrir is still negated, as well as Unicorn. Fenrir and Unicorn are still negated, so I'm not concerned about them. I'm gonna grab Master Cerberus here. I'm gonna grab Master Cerberus to banish his Shang-Ri. Thanks for the spell counters. Those will be good spell counters for when I make Selene. We're gonna go 8 here to grab Master, Master Cerberus. We're gonna move all of them except for one from Endymion, and then the rest off with a field spell. Though I may actually use my Endymion as Link. I may actually pop my Endymion or something. Or use my Endymion as Link material. Instead. That way I can pop my Servant, search another copy of Servant, and then activate Servant's scale effect. Yeah. I'll use Endymion here as Link material. Well, yeah, I probably should have gone Master Cerberus, but it doesn't matter too much. I'm going to use Endymion to do my plays here. I just need to hurry up. I'm getting low on time. Servant goes back into the scale here. I grab a copy to search. I think I may have to go beyond the pendulum here. Oh no, I can just grab a Jackal King here. Since this servant is going into the scale. I'm gonna be on the pendulum first. I just gotta really hurry up here. Yeah. Remember when it used to be 100 seconds longer? I gotta really hurry here. I'm a